42. I would have on my study sheet perhaps something very small version of this, right? But just tell yourself that the payment, this payment is always, this is lowercase interest, this is lowercase p, right? So payment is always I plus p. Right? These two added up, these two cells should always add up to this. So it's a good reminder. And therefore, if you know any two of these three cells, you can find the third one just by subtracting. Okay. So for in this case, for principal, we would go 1200 minus 920. I'm just going to quickly go to that page so that I'm not scrambling here. 42. That's 280. Right, so the principal here is 280. And you can always check, do these two add up to 1200? If so, you're doing good. Okay. Let's go to this one here. You don't know, like these are your, I don't know, I like to maybe let you know that if you know any two of these three cells, you can find the missing one just like that. In this case, you don't know either one of these. Like if you look at the three cells that are next to each other, you don't know either one of these. So how could you possibly get one of these filled in? And the answer lies here, these two numbers. Because remember, the principal would, you would take this number and subtract this number to get that one. Do you remember that? For me, I do this all the time, but for you guys, you're like, this is, I mean, you've done this in grade 11. You do it again in grade 12 in vehicle finance, but basically I will subtract these two. So I will maybe go like this and just say that I'm subtracting these two. So grab your calculator. Minus 191,438.66. Yeah, so this number is 281.34. Stop and think, does that make sense? That the principal slowly goes up? Yeah, because you pay less interest, more principal. Okay, so that's one thing you can check for. Now that you have two out of the three here, you can easily find this by going 1200 minus 281. And so this number here is 918.66. And remember, the interest paid should drop slowly as the months go by. Okay. Next, let's look at the three cells right here. You have two out of the three. Easy. You just go 1200 minus 284.04. And this gives you 915.96. Okay. And then what do you do to fill in this last one? Yeah, you subtract. You go minus 284.04. And this is 191,154.62. 191,154.62. So these two subtracted will always give you that one, right? So if you subtracted these two, like these big numbers, you would get this one. So that's kind of like the dynamic with a partially filled in table, which is, don't worry about the other ones are just bonus. They're optional. They're actually, yeah, I wouldn't expect you to do that. The province wouldn't expect you to do that either, but you're fine there. Go ahead. Let's fill in page 41 here. So this one is done from scratch, okay? Right from the beginning. Fill in the monthly payment chart. This is your house value at 185, the down payment. There's the interest rate, amortized over 25 years. So this is a good review on finding your payment, right? I'm reviewing that for the quiz as well. So we'll figure out our payment. It's the price of the house minus any down payment that happens. You take something from the table and you divide it by 1,000. So let's figure that out. Payment is 185 minus 25,000. Where do we get that table from? The pink charts. You get to bring this tomorrow as well. So we need to, what do we need to get this number? Your interest rate and the amortization. So 6% over 25 years, 640, okay? So this gives you 160,000. This is known as my mortgage slash loan. It's the same. It is just a big loan towards real estate. So you want to make sure you multiply this number, 160, by 6.4. And there it is. 1,024 is your monthly payment. So this is a good review on how to do that. 2 and 1, right? We've done this already. Look up financing. And let's fill this in. My unpaid balance is 160,000 at the very beginning. We'll leave the equity column. Even on the quiz, I allow you to just get rid of that because it's not quite accurate, your equity, because it doesn't include the fact that your house is increasing in value. So just get rid of that. Just focus on this part right here. So my monthly payment, once you figured that out, it doesn't change. You fill that in like that. And anybody remember how to do this one? I hope you have that on your study sheet. That's lowercase I. We go unpaid balance or mortgage, right, times interest rate divided by 100. All of that divided by 12. So that'd be 160,000 times, what's my interest rate? 6%. So that just turns to 0.06 if you divide it by 100. And that remaining amount divided by 12. That's 800 even. Doesn't happen very often. Remember, these three cells right next to each other help you, right? If you have 2 out of the 3, you find the other one. So 1,024 minus 800, that's 224. If you want full marks, make sure it has dollar signs in it. And then, so the principal brings down my unpaid balance. So if you subtract that, you get 159,776. I will stop there, but I will give you this cell right here so you can practice. This is what you're supposed to get at the very end if you do everything else right. Because remember, this comes with you for the second month, the new unpaid balance, right? This 159 comes with you. Times 0.06 divided by 12. Okay. I will highlight that part because this is the one that throws students off sometimes. If you want to practice more, you can just go and pick and choose one. There's one partial for sure in there. There's one full. I will post the key to that, but it won't be 3 months. It will maybe be 1 or 2 months. So you won't have to do 3 because if you make a mistake, it's just a nightmare to mark that. So what's going to be on the quiz? Mortgages, right? Insurance, land transfer tax, property tax. That's basically, and GDSR. Remember GDSR? 32% is your threshold. If you're under that, you're good. Above it, not good. So if you know those things, and the 3 units that I had at the beginning, we did on the whiteboard, you will be fine. Okay.